Computer. Okay. Okay. Can you all mute yourself? Today we will be learning color sensor. Can you all mute yourself? Let me mute. Okay. Very good. So today we will be learning about color sensor. And where is the color sensor? Color sensor is part of these sensor blocks. What other sensor we learned? We already learned touch sensor. You remember? We learned touch sensor. Today we will be starting with the color sensor. Let's understand what color sensor is. Okay. Go to the next slide. Okay. This is what color sensor is, and you also have it in your hand, right? So the color sensor has two lenses, right? One is the larger lens, one is the smaller lens. So why do we need two lenses? Why? Because the upper lens, the large one, whatever the larger lens is, it is used to emit the light. Are you all able to see? This is used, yeah, this is used to emit the light. Okay, that means it will, when I attach the color sensor to the robot and I switch on the robot, this large lens will throw the light on the object. And what is this lower one? This smaller one is the main lens, where it will try to measure what is the color we are trying to find. Okay. Now, if I read this, you might understand. The color sensor has two lenses in the front. Okay. The larger lens is a LED lamp that is used to send out light, and the smaller lens is the color sensor, which is used for measurement. So this is the bigger lens which has a LED light and it will throw light, and the smaller lens is used for the measuring the color sensor. Okay. Till here good. And now the LED lamp emits different colored light depending on the mode of the color sensor. There are different modes for the color sensor. Okay. One is the sensor mode, reflected light, color mode, reflected light intensity, and ambient light intensity, which we will learn in the next slides. Okay. So in different modes, it will emit different colors depending on what mode you select in the color sensor. Now, these modes are set with color sensor programming block. We have, let me open the color sensor programming block now. So I was loading it. I hope it got installed. Let's see. Okay, next. 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 Okay, this is still loading. Once it completes loading, I'll open the application and I will show you the color sensor page. Okay. Let me minimize this. Okay, till now, do you have any doubts in this? Any questions here? Dhanush, Gautam, Rishi.
And once again, explain about larger lens.
Okay. So this is the larger lens. We have two lenses, right? This is the larger lens. When if you switch on the robot, there will be a light that will emit. When you you have the color sensor with you, right? When you switch on, when you attach the color sensor to it, and if you switch on the robot, it will display the light. It will throw a light. Like, let's say if I switch on the light will come, right? Like that, the color sensor will also emit the light. Okay. That light, that's the job of the light sense. It has a LED light and it will throw the light on the object. You are able to hear me or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Rishi is standing. Ask Rishi.
Ma'am, larger lens can project any color.
Three colors. It depends on the mode. Red, green, yellow. No, blue. Red, green, and blue. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Green and blue. Depending on the mode we select. Okay.
Smaller lens will is a color sensor. It will measure the color and it will program.
Yes. Smaller lens also, right? I told you about the modes, right? Tell you what it is. will measure the color and it will tell us what color it is.
Okay, ma'am.
So let's see, this is loaded. Oh, it's still loading. Completed. Okay. Now we have this. Where is that one? Huh. EV3. Okay, we'll give little time before opening. Now, next comes color sensor modes. As I was talking, we have three modes for the color sensor. One is the measure mode, one is the compare mode, and one is the calibrate mode. Okay, calibrate is not that useful, but we'll more focus on measure and compare. This is the color sensor. This is the sensor from which this block is from which palette? We have, do you remember how many palettes we have?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Which palette is this one from?
Sensor block.
Very good.
Sensor color.
This is the sensor palette color sensor. Block, if you take, you will see measure, compare, and calibrate. Three modes. Okay. Now, what measure is, what compare is, what calibrate is, I will tell you on a high level. But mainly we will be focusing on measure today. Okay. Now, what is measure? Measure is nothing but it will read the color. It will try to measure the color, whatever we show. Like, for example, this is my color sensor, right? If this is my color sensor, if I'm showing black, it will show me black. It will tell me that it is black. But the robot will understand only numeric format. That means whatever color it reads, it will tell to us in the numeric format. And I'll tell you what are the numbers. Each color has certain number. It will reflect back in the way of numbers. Okay. That is how it measures the color and tells us in the form of numbers. So it says measures color and outputs in a numeric format. This value should then be passed to other blocks in the program. Did you understand that? I will tell you what do you mean by passing to other blocks. So if I go now, hopefully now I can, let's see if I can open EV3. Luck. Good. Okay. I'm going here, and these are the palettes which we are talking about: action block, color sensor, flow control, and all that. And this is the color sensor. Okay. And in this color, this is the sensor palette, and this is our color sensor. What they are telling is, I pull the color sensor here. Okay. If I click on here, I will see three modes, which we just discussed. Okay. When I say measure color, what it is telling is it will measure the color and it will keep here. But if I want to know what the color is, will I be able to understand unless it gives the output? We don't know, right? How does it give the output? Do you guys remember?
Ma'am, one second question.
Okay, the question is, in this block, we see what are they telling in the PowerPoint presentation? Telling measure color and outputs in a numeric format. This value should then be passed to other program. What I mean by this value should be then passed to the, why should we pass it to other blocks? Why should we pass it to the other blocks? If we don't pass it, how will we know what it read? So let's say this is the display block, right? For display block, if I pass whatever it is read, don't pass here, I will not know. If I don't pass the value here, I will not even know what value it was. We'll come back to it. Okay. First, understand what the color sensor measure is. For the measure, do you have any doubts? This I will tell. The last point I will still tell you more clearly. No doubts, right? Compare, we'll go there when we complete the measure. Okay. Let me go to the next slide. Okay. Now coming back to the main measure color mode. This is the measure mode. In measure, again, we have 3 modes: color, reflected light intensity, ambient light intensity, which I told you before. Okay. So in color mode, the LED lamp emits red, green and blue light and uses the color sensor to determine any of the 7 colors. Okay. So what we are telling in measure, we have again color, reflected light intensity, but depending on which one you select, you will see either LED lamp emits either red color, green color or the blue light. Okay. Not color, sorry. Red light, green light or the blue light. Okay. Now, as I told you, every color has a number, right? Now, these are the numbers represented for each color. If let's say I am sharing this white color, what is the number it will store?
6, ma'am. 6.
Very good. If I show black,
Ma'am?
if I show black color,
7.
1. So like that, we have black 1, blue 2, 3, and 6, and this is 7. Okay. And we also have 0. What does 0 mean? If it does
No
not
color.
identify, if it does not
No color.
understand the color, yeah. If it does not understand the color, and or if we show something else, I know we don't have anything other than these, but we have dark, light yellow, light blue, something like that. If it doesn't understand the color, or if the color sensor is too far to detect any color, at that time it will show 0. Okay. So basically,
Okay, ma'am.
if it doesn't identify the color, it will show you 0. Okay. Now the color sensor measures the color and stores the value in the output. Now let's understand what do you mean by output. When the bump is outside, is it input or output? So let me show you the bump here. You see, this is the curve I'm talking about. This curve is outside. That means, is it an output or input?
Output.
ma'am. Output.
Very good. And do you remember what input is? Maybe we'll take this block. Huh. Where is the bump? Inside or outside like this? This is?
Inside, ma'am.
That means, are you giving input or are you taking input for this block?
Input, ma'am.
Correct. So, sensors always detect and give us output. Display block, always we have to tell her what to do. It will give you, I have to show on the screen. Okay. So now leave about this. Let's talk about this. Now this is the output. This is the measure mode. This mode actually measures the color when I show the color sensor to an object, and where it will store in the output. Okay. And when it is in the output, how do I know? Let's say I ask you some question. What is your output? Your output is your brain. You're storing it in your brain, but the bump is your mouth, right? So if I ask
Yes,
you a
ma'am.
question, just like the color sensor, if you store here, that means you're storing in the brain. But if you don't open your mouth and tell me, will I understand what you have in your brain?
No, ma'am.
Same way, color sensor also knows the answer. After measuring, it will store here. But this is its mouth. If it doesn't open its mouth and let it know to the other blocks, it will not know what it measured. We will not know. Okay. That is the reason what that first block says in the left one. This value should then be passed to other blocks in the program. That is how we mean it should be passed. So how do you pass it? Do you remember we used data wire? Did we use the data wire in the beginner session?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So what did we do? Here you have to take the object wired. Okay. Then here you go, take text. And then whatever color mode identifies or measures, we have to send it to this one. No, not x-axis, y-axis. I want to read it right. 1 second. This shifted. 1 second. Wire. Okay. I have to send it to text. This should still remain wired because I am not writing anything. I am directly sending it. Okay. So this should go to the text mode and it is whatever we are sending. And all this, this erases the previous whatever is there on the screen. And this is the x-axis and y-axis.
Yes, ma'am.
Till here, did you understand these two sentences? The larger sensor emits red, green, and blue light depending on what mode you select. And here, the color sensor measures the color and stores the value in the output. Unless you pass what is the output. Clear till here?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Let's go to the example. Shall I explain the example or will you explain the example?
Ma'am, you only explain, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. First example I will explain. Second example one of you will explain. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. So, okay, because I missed one thing. Here, I missed the last part. Measure color can be performed using sensor block and switch block. You remember switch block? Okay, I will show you. Now, what they are telling is, this is the switch block. Let's go to the switch block. We are talking about the measure color, right? Now, here, using this, we understood that we can do the measure color. Option is there. Same way, in the switch block also, we have color sensor and we have measure. And we have over here only color, measure color. What they are telling is measure color can be achieved only using these two blocks. We also have other blocks like we have the weight block, we have the loop block. Here also we have color sensor, but we don't have option to measure the color. See, I go to weight block, color sensor. Do I have measure here? I don't have measure here. I only have compare and change.
Yes, ma'am.
In the same way, if I go to the loop block, I have color sensor, but do I have measure? I don't have measure. This is compare. Okay. So I don't have measure mode. So if I want to measure a color, I can use only these two blocks. I can't use these two. That is what they are trying to tell. Measure color can be performed using sensor block and switch block. Okay, now you understand? Only this and this has the measure block. Now let's remove these both. Now let's go to the example. Okay, so what we are telling, first example, measure color is using the sensor block. Okay, how can you use the sensor block and how can you write a program using the color measure? Now this is the, what are we doing here? The color sensor here measures the color and outputs numeric value. What you know that when you select measure color mode, it will read the color and it will store the output here. And this output is sent over here. And I can send it anywhere I want. Like this is the block I can send. Instead, I can also send it to the, I can send it to move steering also. What will it happen when I send to move steering? I'll remove this one now. Let's say I'm sending the color to the move steering. What will happen?
When the robot will detect the color, it will move.
Yeah, depending on what number it will go to that position. So
it will move straight with 75 speed and one rotation.
why it will go straight? Why are you telling it will go straight?
It is in positive. Numeric value is in positive, ma'am.
So, okay, now this is 0. I will say probably I read the color 6 or 7. Is it straight? You forgot? What is this? Positive value will go front, not straight. Positive value will go front. Negative value will go back.
Okay.
Here is, it will take, if it is 0, it will go straight. If it is anything other than 0, let's say 60, it will go front right. Remember?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, color can be read how many numbers for color measure? What are the maximum numbers you can read?
7, ma'am.
7. So, depending on if it reads no color, that means here what happens? If you read
It
no
will
color
become
over
0.
here, it will go
No,
no
ma'am.
color means what is the number?
Ma'am?
No color means what is the number?
0, ma'am.
0, ma'am.
So it will go straight or right or left or back.
It will go.
It will not go, ma'am.
It will stop right there. It will stay rested.
Ah,
Stay rested.
Will it stay?
rest.
Oh, will it stay rest? You forgot. 0 means it will go straight.
Okay, ma'am.
Go straight. If I say here, this is the power. Okay. If power I 0, then it will not go anywhere.
Okay, ma'am.
So if I pass this over here and it detects no color, it will not go anywhere. If it detects color number 5, it will go. If it detects color number 7, it will go little more fast. So maximum is 7. In the same, I can also pass it over here. What happens? Change this.
Number of
Number of rotations, ma'am.
It's rotation. Correct. So depending on what color it reads, I can tell move so many rotations. I can say if it detects color green color, go. I can pass. This is a new thing. I can pass only to these 3. Can I pass it over here? What is this? It is
No, ma'am.
wherein the cost is what? To stop the robot. I can pass
Yes.
only to this. In the same way, I can pass the robot. Can you prove that you are reading? Thank you. Okay. Now, what they are doing, it is reading. Yeah.
I have one doubt.
Yeah.
If the sensor will, if the robot will detect, suppose black color means the we wire it to the rotation means if the black color is one, the robot will move one rotation only.
Yes.
Like this way we have to wire it, it will go like that. Means 7 means
Exactly.
7 turn.
So, yeah, if I say, let's say, here, if the robot is, see, as you said, black color means 1, right? If I go here, if I say, if it's reading black color, that means it is having 1. Nothing but I'm passing the same 1 here. Whether you write here or whether you pass 1 here, correct?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Did you answer this question? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
That still has some doubt.
Ma'am, no doubt, ma'am.
Okay, then see. Then I the now I know that what is the value I'm reading? Is it a numeric value? Is it a letter or is it a logical value? True or false? Or what am I storing here?
Ma'am, it
Numeric
is
value.
numeric value.
Because I'm storing a numeric value, what should be here?
Color
Color
sensor.
sensor, ma'am.
I'm already color. You are telling take color sensor. Okay. I'm already here. Why should I again measure here? Instead, just
Ma'am, 1 second.
understand. Here what was stored? What is the value that is stored here?
Numeric value, ma'am.
Numeric value. Try to match it over here. Read everything.
Text, ma'am.
Read everything.
Ma'am, timer.
Read everything first.
And color sensor measure mode.
Read everything. Read the options. Read one by one. What is this?
Color sensor. Infrared sensor.
Motor
Motor
rotation.
rotation.
Timer.
Timer.
Touch sensor.
Messaging. Text. Text.
What is this?
Text, ma'am.
No, what is this? I'm asking you to read the next one. Oh, you are not able, are you able to
Yes,
see this?
ma'am.
Oh, you are not able to see. That is why you are not able to tell. You have the not able to see.
Logic, ma'am.
After logic, what is there? Below logic.
After logic, we can't able to see. Numeric,
ma'am.
Yeah. Now tell me where it is.
From
that time onwards, we can't see that numeric value. It is so much down.
Okay, under. Now you have,
Yes, ma'am. Understood.
Understood.
now I have to select numeric mode because I'm sending numeric. But you have a point where you are telling other stuff also is correct. Like you said I can take timer. That is also fine. Why? Because I can send this like this. But that is not our goal. We are trying to send numeric value for our example. Still, this is an input. You are sending a numeric value. Still, you can use, which is all correct. But the example will be more apt if I take numeric value. Why? Because if I send this over here, whatever color it detects, I can tell the action. If it is color, no color, go here. If it detects black color, go here and do the work, whatever I say. You remember, I can even add case like this, right? And what I can do, I can change the number also. Here I can say 1, here I can say 2, and here I can say 0. I can change anything, right? I can put default over here. You remember the switch block?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, what I can do with this, I can do many operations. If it detects black color, I will say go front. Or if it detects what is color 2, you guys remember? Wrote down. What is it?
Yes, ma'am.
What color 2?
Blue, ma'am.
Blue color.
So, if it detects blue color, I will say make a sound. Something like that. Now,
Yes, ma'am.
if I run the program, what happens to this one? Tell me what will happen. Let's say I run the program and I detected black color. What will happen?
The robot
The robot will know the color.
forward.
And
Forward.
okay. And what
It will sense
happens?
the color.
And after that,
Ma'am, once again.
what will happen?
After that, the robot moves straight forward.
At 75
Forward
speed.
75 speed and
And
per
Okay,
run rotation.
After that,
The robot will stop.
yes, but I don't want the robot to stop. Let's say I'm first showing black color, then I want to show red color, then I want to show green color, I want to show different colors. I don't want the robot to stop. What should I do? As
Ma'am,
I
we have to add a loop block, ma'am.
very good. Add a loop block. I have to put everything inside the loop so that the program doesn't stop. I can keep on changing. I can first show black, then I can show green, then I can show white. It will go on doing whatever it is until because it is in the loop block. Else it will show only one time and it will stop the program. Understood? This is
Yes,
nothing
ma'am.
but our first example. This is our first example. What are we seeing here? It measures the color, it is sending the numeric value, and depending on what numeric value, it will go to that case, switch case. If it is 1, it will say in the display block that it is black. If it is 5, it will say in the display block that it is red. If it is 0, if it's not reading any color, in the display block, it will show no color. Any doubts over here?
Nothing, ma'am.
Okay. I don't see Gautam, so second example, Gautam will explain.
Okay.
This is the second example, Gautam. What are they doing? What is the heading? What are they?
Ma'am, it is in a loop.
First of all, what is that you are doing? What example is this?
Ma'am,
Predicting the color sense.
sound is not audible, ma'am.
From where are you using the color sensor?
There is no color sensor, ma'am. Okay.
Okay.
Black color, ma'am. First,
Can you ask sir to take pictures?
Sir,
Okay. Now we'll concentrate. Okay. Now, what is this called? What is this example? Where are you selecting the color sensor from?
from measure mode, ma'am.
Yeah, measure mode, but which block?
Uh, color color sensor, ma'am.
I'm
Sensor block.
pointing it. Are you able to see my? Are you able to see my cursor? What
Switch block, ma'am.
you have to? We are doing two things, right? We are measuring the color sensor from sensor, and the second example is we are measuring the color from using switch block. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So you have to say this example is to measure the color using the switch block. Okay. Now,
Yes, ma'am.
how are we doing it? Now, can you explain the program?
Ma'am,
Can you explain the program what it is doing? Are you able to hear? Can you explain what is it doing
yes,
now?
ma'am.
Can you explain this program?
Ma'am, if the sensor shows black color, if it is detect black color, and
First, you have to tell what is that I'm selecting.
ma'am, switch block was selected.
In switch block, what am I selecting? Okay, we'll do like this. You read this program, tell me, I will write. Okay, first understand the program. Take 2 minutes, see what the program
Yes, ma'am.
is. Now we'll go here. Okay, now
Ma'am, once again question.
tell me what is the example. I will write it here. What should I do?
what is the?
What does the example say? What should I do? I will write.
One side question.
What is the example say? What does the example say? You got stuck.
Yes, ma'am.
I will try to take the example, the same example. Gautam, tell me what you're doing so that I write it.
First, we have to take switch loop, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Now we have
Then,
to take a loop.
yes, I will put. Then
Now we have to send a switch block to the loop,
into the loop. Okay.
and we have to select the color or numeric value.
Why do I need numeric value? What should I select here?
Any color, ma'am.
What should I select here?
Color sensor, ma'am.
Then why did you select numeric value? If you use, you shouldn't take numeric value over here. Color sensor. Okay.
Measure mode, ma'am.
Then color. You understood why we are not taking numeric here? In the previous example, we had color sensor. We are passing that. Here we don't have color sensor. We have to use switch block selecting the to measure the color. Now we are measuring the color. Did you know what happened over immediately? Because you moved the color, it changed like this. If I add one more page and I can click here and I can change any color.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, like this. One more page can place over here and it. Now I can use whatever I want over here. Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
It right here. Tell me anything.
Steering block, ma'am.
Okay. Then second one,
Move tank.
more tank. Plus
Display block.
what you want here?
Sound block, ma'am.
Sound block. You select it over here. Colors.
Black.
Okay. So what happens now? I don't have to pass anything. I don't need wire. Why? Because switch block itself has the value. Switch block itself is measuring the color. Now what happens if it doesn't see any color? If it doesn't identify any color, what happens?
It will go straight, ma'am. Straight for one rotation.
Yeah, it will go straight, but you can't. But you rotation, yes, one rotation, but it will
Ah, okay, ma'am. It is in a loop.
keep repeating. Okay. And when
Okay.
color is back, it will go here.
Ma'am.
After then in the middle, if you show any other color, it will go here. If you touch black, it can't.
Ma'am,
Ma'am,
once
can
again.
you repeat the question?
Yeah, sure. So if I don't show any color, it will be here until I show some other color. Let's say I show black color. What
Uh,
will go until black?
it will produce the sound, ma'am.
Yes, it will produce the sound as long as it goes back. Again, it will go back, it will not sound anymore, but it will go back here and it will. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
This is about the second example, switch case. You have any questions in the color sensor, measure color mode? Any questions in the measure color mode? What? I didn't understand. Any doubts?
No, ma'am.
Ma'am, Dhanush had a doubt.
Yes, Dhanush. Good.
And when we add a color sensor in a switch block, how can we see in which color it is there? How can we identify which color is
That is the inbuilt functionality of this, right? So they are providing the option. That means whatever select. You are asking like, let's say I'm doing how many colors. Whatever this is doing, this also will do the same job. Sensor is it is not showing the sensor block, but the functionality is there. Whatever the sensor block functionality, whatever is here, that code, whatever the program has,
understood, ma'am? Yes, ma'am.
what EV3 Mindstorm, this is what software Lego Mindstorm EV3. EV3 software develop the code for everything. If I select this, what should happen? If I select this, what should happen? Like that, whatever code it wrote here, same code is here also. When you select this, it should behave same, whatever it behaves here. Okay? Good doubt. Very good question.
Ma'am, one more doubt.
Yes.
Ma'am, in a switch block we have a color sensor, but why again we took color sensor separately?
This I showed only for example because Dhanush asked me a doubt. Yes.
Okay, ma'am.
But very good. If I already have, I don't need color. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
I'm just showing whether you use sensor or this sensor is the same. Any other doubts?
No, ma'am.
Very good. I like the way you guys are asking doubts. Now, how much time do we have? Huh?
It's 4:32, ma'am.
Here.
Here.
So
51
will
hour
class is
completed.
over by 4:30 or 5?
Ma'am, we will wind up now. Wind up now.
Okay. Then next class we understand what compare is. But for the measured color, we'll give you homework same Google Classroom.
Okay, ma'am.
Probably I'll create a new classroom. I don't know. Probably I'll create a new classroom. I will share the what you have to do the program. You have to send me the code and you have to send me the video recording. Remember?
Okay,
Okay,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Good job, guys. Same enthusiasm, same interest. That's very good. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Stop this.